का दीवाना,
गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना।
पढ़ाई हो जो करनी, जरा भी ना घबराना, गोल्डन बुक्स को अपनाना, अपना इंडिया गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना। कक्षा विषय कोई हो, आसान समझ पाना, गोल्डन ही तो है सफलता का पैमाना। गोल्डन ही ला रहा है चेहरे पे मुस्कुराना, मैं गोल्डन का दीवाना, अपना इंडिया बुक्स का दीवाना, गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना, गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना, गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना।
Golden presents the best-selling reference books for mathematics for classes 11th and 12th. Main features of Golden Books are: all the books are based on latest NCERT textbooks and are as per the latest syllabus of CBSE. Important points have been given for each chapter for quick revision. Solution of all the NCERT textual exercises are given. Other important questions for practice and examinations are also given in a very simple language. Objective type question bank is given, which include MCQs with answers. The Golden Books suit all the pockets and are a boon for the weak, mediocre and intelligent students alike. Buy Golden Books for your golden future.
Good afternoon everybody. मैं महेश धामा गोल्डन एडिटर और न्यू एज पब्लिशर्स की ओर से इस वेबिनार के संचालक के रूप में आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। साथियों, आज के इस वेबिनार में हमारा विषय रहेगा एकेडमिक सेशन 2023 एंड 24 में सीबीएसई द्वारा मैथमेटिक्स 11th एंड 12th में जो चेंजेस किए गए हैं और पेपर पैटर्न जो चेंज किया गया है उसको ध्यान में रख करके आज हमारा ये वेबिनार रहेगा। जैसा कि आपको पहले से ही ज्ञात है कि आज के इस वेबिनार को होस्ट करेंगे श्री राजेश सिंह जी, जिनके द्वारा इस वेबिनार का आयोजन किया गया है। अब मैं पहले उनका आपको थोड़ा परिचय करा देता हूं। इस वेबिनार का आयोजन किया है न्यू एज के मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर श्री सौम्य गुप्ता जी द्वारा। श्री सौम्य गुप्ता जी पिछले 20 वर्षों से पब्लिकेशन को संभाल रहे हैं और सर ने केमिकल में इंजीनियरिंग और पब्लिकेशन में न्यूयॉर्क यूनिवर्सिटी से एमएस किया हुआ है। सर की देखरेख में यह पब्लिकेशन दिन दुगनी रात चौगनी तरक्की कर रहा है और सर का उद्देश्य एक अच्छी किस्म की शिक्षा देना, समाज के बच्चों को एक सुपर शिक्षा देना सर का उद्देश्य रहता है। और अब मैं सर को आमंत्रित करूंगा कि वो आएंगे और पटल पर अपनी बात रखेंगे, अपनी पुस्तकों के विषय में और कंपनी के विषय में अपने 2 शब्द रखेंगे। अब मैं श्री सौम्य गुप्ता जी से निवेदन करूंगा कि प्लीज सर आइए और हमें अपनी पुस्तकों और कंपनी के विषय में बताइए। सर प्लीज, सौम्य गुप्ता सर।
Good afternoon everyone. I welcome you all and distinguished participants in this webinar on the latest curriculum of mathematics issued by CBSE for the current academic year for classes 11th and 12th. I especially welcome Mr. Rajesh Singh sir, who will be conducting this webinar along with the panelists who will play an important role during this course of time. New Age International Publishers' famous Golden Books are totally based on NCERT textbooks and are one of the best-selling reference books not only in India but also in Middle East countries. Golden Books are liked by teachers, parents, and students alike. As we know, CBSE changes curriculum almost every year. So Golden are the first ones to update the books as per the latest curriculum so that teachers and students do not face any difficulty. For this, we have marketing offices situated all over India in all major cities. New Age publishes all kind of school books for students in all the major subjects. Golden Mathematics reference books are published from classes 1 to 12th, which are strictly based on NCERT textbooks and are as per the latest curriculum issued by CBSE. We do also publish Golden Mathematics workbooks, which are based also on NCERT and are from classes 1 to 10 standard. Mathematics pull-out assignments are also available for classes 6 to 8, which are written in very simple and lucid language, which will help students to get good grades in the final examinations. New Age also publishes textbook series called Maths Made Easier for classes 1 to 8 standard, in which the language is very simple as per the intellectual capacity of the student at that age. Mental Mathematics is also a practice workbook for classes 1 to 8, which enables readers to sharpen their mind by solving the questions with mental aptitude. Table book is also a good book for students to enhance their base in the mathematics. I'm glad to announce you that New Age is the first publisher to publish Vedic mathematics class size from 1st to 5th standard. These books are works as a bridge between Vedic mathematics, abacus calculations, and modern mathematical techniques as per the standard of the student at that age. Dear participants, we will be issuing participation certificates to you for attending the webinar. To get the certificate, kindly fill out the feedback form, which will be sent to you on WhatsApp after the webinar. We will also issue specimen copies to all the faculties who will be joining this webinar. For that, kindly email your class you are taking at specimen@newagepublishers.com. I hope today's webinar will enlighten us all with latest curriculum of CBSE for classes 11th and 12th and help all the teachers in their teaching endeavors. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर। हमें न्यू एज पब्लिकेशन की बुक्स और कंपनी की जानकारी देने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। और अब मैं आपका परिचय कराना चाहूँगा। आज के वेबिनार को होस्ट करने के लिए राजेश सिंह जी, जिन्होंने आज ये अवसर हमें दिया है कि वो हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे। सर जो है MA B.Ed BSc ऑनर्स MBA डिप्लोमा इन नेचुरोपैथी, एक्सपर्ट इन वैदिक मैथमेटिक्स है, रिटायर सीनियर PGT एज माता जय कौर कॉलेज दिल्ली, और सर का 36 ईयर का टीचिंग मैथमेटिक्स एक्सपीरियंस है सेकेंडरी एंड सीनियर सेकेंडरी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए। सर ने तकरीबन लगभग 200 बुक्स के ऑथर्स के रूप में काम किया है और 50 से भी अधिक बुक्स के रूप में एक एडिटर के रूप में काम किया है, और रिसोर्स पर्सन ऑफ वर्कशॉप, हंड्रेड्स वर्कशॉप फॉर टीचर्स, पेरेंट्स एंड स्टूडेंट्स एंड कंसल्टेंट ऑफ भारतीय शिक्षा बोर्ड। एजुकेशनल काउंसलर के रूप में सर कार्य कर चुके हैं स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, उनके कोर्स स्ट्रीम चूजिंग के लिए, चॉइसिंग के लिए, ऑन पैनल फॉर द सिलेक्शन ऑफ टीचर्स के लिए। और अभी सर कुछ ही दिन पहले माता जय कौर सीनियर सेकेंडरी स्कूल से रिटायर हुए हैं। सर का एक वेल एक्सपीरियंस है, और सर आज हम लोगों को मैथमेटिक्स 11th और 12th में CBSE द्वारा एकेडमिक सेशन 2023 एंड 24 में जो चेंजेस हुए हैं और जो पेपर पैटर्न चेंज हुआ है उससे अवगत कराने के लिए हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं। मैं सर का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं और वेलकम करता हूं कि प्लीज सर आइए और हमें इन सब चेंजेस से और इन सब चीजों से हमें इंट्रोड्यूस कीजिए। सर प्लीज, राजेश सिंह जी।
Thank you very much. So, first of all, a big welcome to all those who are attending. I can see about 80 people are attending already. So, big welcome to them. You can see that I am sitting in my library actually. I have a huge library, runs into 3 rooms of my home. Anyway, this is one of them. So, आज हम बात करने आए हैं, we are here to talk about CBSE. अगर कोई अनप्रिडिक्टेबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो सकती है तो वो CBSE हो सकती है, और ये बात मुझे आपको ज्यादा बताने की जरूरत नहीं है। हर साल पैटर्न चेंज हो जाता है पेपर का, हर साल सब कुछ चेंज होता रहता है। देखिए, एक सीधी सी बात है, मैं एक बात कहता हूँ और हमेशा कहता हूँ कि व्हाट इज टॉट इन 1 year is tested in 3 hours and is going to be evaluated in 10 minutes. हम जैसे बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होंगे जो जाके सीबीएसई की वैल्यूएशन भी करते होंगे। मैंने कई साल करी, मैं उसके बाद हेड एग्जामिनर भी रहा और सेंटर कोऑर्डिनेटर भी रहा। तो मैंने कई बार देखा कि जो वॉट एवर इज डन, यू नो, that a person is given 10 papers and after maybe half an hour, maybe after 1.5 hours or 2 hours, he'll come and say, okay, my job is done. 20 papers, I find so many people doing it. दूसरी बात मैं ये कहता हूँ कि the challenge is not getting the passing the examination. पास करना चैलेंज नहीं है, अच्छे मार्क्स लाना जो है वो चैलेंज है आजकल के जमाने में। आप देख रहे हैं कि आपका जो पेपर होता है उसके दो पार्ट्स हैं, 80 मार्क्स और 20 मार्क्स। 80 मार्क्स का जो पेपर है उसको मैं डिस्कस करता हूं अभी। पहले मैं 20 मार्क्स के पेपर को डिस्कस करना चाहता हूं। 20 मार्क्स का पेपर जो है वो आपके स्कूल का ही काम है, आपने इंटरनल असेसमेंट करनी है। 10 मार्क्स तो भाई पीरियोडिक असेसमेंट के ही हो गए। पीरियोडिक टेस्ट वगैरह जो होते हैं, पीरियोडिक टेस्ट में क्या लिया जाएगा, आप कुछ भी ले सकते हैं। हाफ ईयरली एग्जाम ले लीजिए, एनुअल एग्जाम ले लीजिए, सॉरी एनुअल नहीं, हाफ ईयरली ले लीजिए, प्री बोर्ड ले लीजिए, और क्या नाम आपके जो है प्री बोर्ड एग्जाम जो होते हैं वो, और हाफ ईयरली, ये सब ले लीजिए तो अपने आप ही आपका 10 मार्क्स उसमें से देने हैं। देन दी अदर 5 marks will come from the practical file, which most of the students are able to get, and then 5 marks are for the viva and 5 for the practical exam test, 3 for test, 2 for viva. So I think so this 20 marks is, you know, it's a something which we don't say, but everybody understands that this is a kind of a gift given to the student, that you will get these. So as a result, what happens is that I find that every student, sometimes they are not getting as many marks in theory as they are getting in practical. Now, this is rather unusual, but anyway, it happens. So out of those 20 marks, I find that most of the students are able to get 15 plus marks very, very easily. I think that everybody agrees. Then we come to, thank you. So then we come to what is the paper. Now you see, I have divided my discussion into two parts. One is I want to talk about the paper a little bit, and then I want to talk about how this book we are presenting to you is going to be useful to you. Because you see, what are we teaching the student for? We are teaching the student for, okay, also those things, theoretical things are okay, but practically we want our students to get good marks, isn't it? Maybe it doesn't affect us, maybe it doesn't affect our careers or whatever, but anyway, we always want our students to get good marks. I've taught for 36 long years, and every year I was only thinking, how will my students do their best? So that I think every teacher does. Every teacher worth his salt is naturally going to do that. So this kind of breakup, as you can see on the screen, is in accordance with what CBSE has published as their own sample papers. There are first is 20 marks. Now 20 marks is MCQs, out of which 2 MCQs are assertion and reason type. Now I don't need to tell you what are assertion reason. We are already doing it for a year and a half or so. So obviously you all know what is assertion reason. But only 2 questions of assertion reason are there. However, this has created a kind of a scare in many students कि पता नहीं क्या आने वाला है. ऐसा कुछ खास नहीं है. All they need, when you come to assertion reason, actually you need the logic of the thing. You can't do tukkebazi. Of course, tukkebazi can always be done, but you need what? You need the logic behind it, that why this is correct or why this is incorrect. So most of these questions will be theoretical type questions. Then we come to section B, which has 5 very short answer questions, which are 2 marks only. So again, you have to prepare the student according to these things. So now later on, I'll tell you how this book is going to help you in preparing it. I was also associated, well, this book was being prepared. I was being consulted for all sorts of things, that are the answers correctly done, and many other things which were there. Of course, I didn't write the book, but naturally I was being consulted. So I know very well how the book shaped up. It took a lot of time and a lot of energy to make it. So section C is, there are 6 short answer questions. Now there is not much difference between a 2-mark question and a 3-mark question. So maybe 1 step extra or 1 step less, and this depends on the person who's setting the paper, whether he thinks it is worth 2 marks or 3 marks, that is up to him. But anyway, 2 and 3 marks are somewhat alike. Then comes the last part, that is 4 long questions of 5 marks each. Now, most of the students falter in these questions, but these are the questions which are very easy to prepare. If you see, you go through the entire chapter, you will find that there are maybe only 4 questions, 3 questions, maximum 5 questions of this type. So if you have 12 chapters, that means in the entire book, you'll hardly find 50 questions, which are worth 5 marks. So if you prepare them, then these 5 into 4, 20 marks are already in your pocket. You see, and most of them are such that they are very predictable type questions. ये तो जरूर आएगा. So naturally, if you take the entire book, hardly 50 questions are there, which are there for these 5 marks. But 2 and 3, there is a lot of variety. For that, you need a lot of practice. I mean, you need to give your students a lot of practice. So there is no overall choice. It is nothing like section C has 10 questions, do any 5. But there are internal choices, 2 questions here, 2 questions there, etc., which is there. So I have talked about now what is going to be the paper. This is the paper, and for this we have to prepare our students. For short questions, the questions of 2 marks, 1 mark, and 3 marks, lot of practice is needed. For long questions, what do you need? You just zero in all those 50, 30 questions, 40 questions, whatever are there, and make your student expert into all those ones. Then comes the case study. Now, case study, there are 3 case studies. There are 3 case studies to be done. Now, they are given all sorts of fancy names, that it is a case study or passage-based or integrated unit of assessment, etc. Now, don't worry about all these things. They are simple case studies. Some passage is given. The passage could be like a small story, or it could be like a small concept or something. And based on that, there will be 3 questions. So out of those 3 questions, there is a choice in last question. First question, 1 mark. Second question, 1 mark. Third question, 2 marks. And there is a choice also. So this is what is there. This is what the paper is like. I hope everybody has seen the paper. If you haven't seen the paper, you can go to the CBSE site and see it, or it is published in this book also. So when I'll discuss it further, I'll show you where it is published. So it is published in the book also. You can have a look at it where it is published. So I hope this is clear, that what the paper is and what we have to do for it. We have to prepare our children for it. Now, there is I will not say it's a fault of NCERT or CBSE or anybody, but there are certain things which are lacking in the CBSE books. One is they don't have sufficient number of MCQs. MCQ कितने आने हैं? 20. They don't have even a single assertion reason question. कितने आने हैं? 2 आने हैं. चलो कोई बात नहीं, 2 तो आने हैं ना. But they don't have those. Because when they wrote those books, that was long time back, maybe 15 years back, 10 years back or something. So when they are right now, they rationalize it. Now, rationalization means that they cut out some parts. It is not that they rewrote the entire book. They cut out some parts. After COVID, during COVID, they had deleted some parts that, okay, children don't have time to study. But what we were seeing, the papers were being held online and everybody was getting full marks. So whether even if you had given them double the syllabus, they would have done it. Anyway, whatever it is. So thankfully that COVID nonsense is over. So anyway, coming back to it. So how do we prepare our students? Now, sorry, I was talking about the CBSE books, NCERT books. No MCQs, no reason assertion question, no case study. So when all these things are not there, you have to get them from somewhere. Another thing is that CBSE has now, of course, after class 12, there is a CUET exam. That means if you want to go to the university, you have to clear that CUET exam, and on the basis of that, that will decide which college you get, or where you go, or what you do, or which course you study, etc. No, that CUET exam will decide. A very fair thing. Why I call it very fair? Because in a city of Delhi, which is a union territory, anybody could come and take admission from anywhere, because union territory says that it belongs to the entire country. So anybody can come and take admission here. And as a result, what used to happen, the percentages used to run high, 98%, 97%, even then no admission. So what a pity it was. So to counter all that, they had to do something like this. So that's why they have done CUET. CUET is an entirely computer-based test. And not only computer-based test, it is also MCQ type. So we need those MCQs. Where do we get those MCQs from? We don't have. Our NCERT book will not going to provide us any MCQs. There are hardly any 1 or 2 MCQs somewhere here and there. Of course, there is an exemplar, but that is also very limited. So we need, of course, Exemplar has wonderful questions. Let me tell you that. Wonderful questions. But of course, you have to look for it. Where is that wonderful question? So if you are an experienced teacher, you know very well where that wonderful question is. And you will do it in the class. But again, the problem is not this. The problem is that where do you find such things in bulk? You need them in bulk to make your students practice. So all of you are maths teachers and all of you know the importance of practice. So how much we must have practiced when we were students, I don't need to tell you. You all know very well. Okay. Coming to, so now let me talk about these two present books, which are, one book is for 11th and one book is for 12th. Now, 11th class is entirely in your grip. You want to give some chapter, you don't want to give some chapter, you want to delete some part, it is entirely yours. Please try to follow the same way as you are going to do it in 12th, because those who are doing 11th this year will obviously go to 12th next year, unless and until somebody fails, unfortunately, or maybe discontinue study for some reason, which should not be there actually. So these are the two books which are there. Now, what is the design of these books? Let us have a look at it. You see, I have taken a screenshot from the index of the book. Now, as you can see very clearly, that this is a first chapter, class 12th, relation and function. A very dreaded chapter. I find that many teachers don't like this chapter. So whenever I go for a workshop, etc., once few days back, I was in Kota to conduct a workshop. And there somebody asked me, sir, forget the workshop, can you teach us this chapter? How to do this chapter? So if I had to said, okay, I'm not going to teach you the chapter, but I'll tell you what basic things are there in this chapter. Well, actually, few days before only I had worked on this chapter as far as this book is concerned. So everything was very fresh in my mind. Anyway, so let's see this chapter. As you can see, it is 35 pages. Now, out of those 35 pages, 15 pages are dedicated. So 15 is little less than half. 15 pages, 15 or 16 pages are dedicated to the book, the real book, the book as it should be. After that, what you have multiple choice questions, you have very short answer questions, you have short answer questions, you have long answer questions, you have case study. Everything you need is there, isn't it? Everything you need is there. Plus, there are practice exercises, competition sections, so many other things. I'll explain them in detail what is there. So you can see half the chapter is dedicated to NCERT style work and half the chapter is dedicated to your preparation or your students' preparation towards the board exam as well as the CUET. Now, remember this, that CUET, you can't say that after 12th class exam is over, you go and attend some 1 month course, crash course, and you will be prepared for CUET. Sorry, that will not happen. For that, you have to study for the entire year and make your students study for entire year. So even now, now of course, many times, many years it has happened to me and must have happened to you also. When you come across some old student of yours, he comes, bends down, touches your feet or greets you, and you don't even recognize who the student is. It has happened to me many times. So why this happens? This happens because you take care of them today. You have to be a little strict also at times. Abhi to theek hai, they will be angry with you. Why are you strict with me? But later on, they'll tell you, sir, thank you very much. That's why it is there. That's why we all are teachers. Anyway, coming back to this chapter, you can see as the screenshot I've taken that half the chapter is dedicated to the NCERT preparation or something based on that. And half the chapter is based on what? Half the chapter is based on competitions and all those things which are there. I forgot to tell you, there is a competition section also. Competition section, like people who are preparing for IIT, JEE mains and all those things, engineering entrance exams, because medical students will not study maths. Only engineering students will study maths. Medical exam, there is no maths. So, of course, there is no need of maths. They have only physics, chemistry, and biology. Likewise, we don't have biology. We have physics, chemistry, and maths. So, for them also, there is material here. So, that you will see later on. For that, questions have been picked from the JEE entrance exam, this, that, and all sorts of exams happen. It's not only the JEE entrance which happens. There are many other such exams which happen all over the country. So, questions have been very carefully picked and crafted from that also. So, let's come to this is the design of the chapter. This is same as the one you saw just now, the screenshot. Now, here I want to explain you various things. Now, first thing was points to remember. Now, when we are, we want to have something kind of a gist of a chapter and some shortcuts, tricks, etc., which are there. Now, there are many shortcuts to do things. For example, if somebody asks you how many factors this number is going to have, suppose I say, okay, the number is, well, let's take a very small number, say 6. I say, okay, how many factors 6 is going to have? So one way is you start counting 1, 2, 3, 6, and so on. But if the number becomes 6,000, if the number becomes bigger, so for that you need some kind of shortcut. So that shortcut also you will find in this book. The shortcut is very simple, but of course, right now I'm explaining something else. So same way, there are many shortcuts, many things which are there for entire course of mathematics. Now, when you are doing MCQs, you actually need a lot of shortcuts. Without shortcuts, you will not be able to do MCQs. Because if you MCQ 20 MCQs means that you should not spend more than 20 marks out of 80 marks. Right? So if you divide your time 3 hours into 4, if you divide that by 4, so how much it will come to? 3 hours means 180 minutes. 180 divided by 4 is 45 minutes. So your MCQs should finish in something like 40 to 45 minutes. That means 2 minutes per MCQ. So in that 2 minutes, you have to read also, interpret also, write also, do rough work also, everything. So unless and until you know the shortcuts, you are not going to get it. So for that reason, this thing has been added. Earlier it was not there. Later on, we insisted that it should be there. So that is why it has been added. Then how does it progress? It progresses like subunit 1, theory and examples, and the NCERT exercise. We are giving the NCERT. We have incorporated NCERT also. We have incorporated other material also. So you see, the NCERT material is also there. Some students are unable to do, and of course, NCERT book has got more than 3,000 questions or maybe 2,000 questions. All the questions cannot be done in class. How can you do each and every question in class? So unless and so naturally, each and every student will not be able to do each and every question. So for that reason, what has been done is we have solved the entire book. And in solving this book, sometimes we had to split hairs. लड़ाई हो जाती थी आपस में, ऐसे नहीं होगा, ऐसे आंसर होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. क्यों ऐसे करते थे? क्योंकि हमें ऐसा आंसर देना था जो एक एवरेज स्टूडेंट की समझ में आ जाए. An average student is able to understand it. So that, of course, in a maths class, you can't say average, but there are average students. So obviously, everybody has to pass. Anybody who has taken maths in class 11 and is continuing with it has to pass the examination. Now, this is what the attitude of teacher has to. You can't do without it. Then second thing is, of course, we went like this, like subunit 1, like, for example, this chapter on, just now I just showed you, this chapter on this, first I'm talking about relations, there is exercise on relations, then I'm talking about functions, there's exercise on functions. So on, in the same manner, we go on. Like till the entire chapter content is over. After that, we have MCQs, and in these MCQs, we also have assertion reason. जो आपकी लिए वो है कि assertion reason, because you normally don't get assertion reason questions from anywhere. So we have tried to see that each and every chapter has at least 5 to 10 assertion reason questions. So that student gets a lot of practice about assertion reason. See, whenever you are doing assertion reason, minimum you should do 4. In one, the answer should be A, the answer should be B and C and D. So a mixture of A, B, C, D should be there. Otherwise, all the answers are A. That sort of thing cannot happen. So this is why we did like this. Then there are very short questions, 2 marks, another exercise following it. As you can see, the second exercise following it is these. Third exercise following is a little longer. Now 2 and 3 are exchangeable, always. So, if you write to us that, no, this should have been 2, why I have given it 3 or why it's 2, okay, I can understand. This is matter of interpretation. I interpret it like a 3-mark question. You can interpret it like a 2-mark question. Nothing wrong. Neither I am correct or incorrect, neither you are correct or incorrect. So everything is okay for 2 and 3 marks questions. And that will, of course, when the paper setters, whosoever is setting the paper, it will depend on the paper setter and the editors or moderators' viewpoint that what is there. So last is, of course, long answer are 5 marks, as I told you, that you can select. Now it becomes very easy for you. You can see all 5-mark questions. We have taken those 5-mark questions from past year papers also, exemplar also, and CBSE we have modified a little, and we have given them all to you. So it becomes very easy for you now that what type of question your student is practicing. For that, we have done like this. And last is, of course, source-based, case-based. So at least 3 or 4 such questions in every chapter we have given. So this gives a sufficient practice to the student. Now, most of the time the student is practicing on his or her own. You can't be sitting with everybody, every student all the time. You have to multiply yourself into 10 or 15 to do that. No? You can't do that. So most of the time the student is himself there. And all these things are solved. Why these are solved? Because you see, you can say, you can criticize us for that why everything is solved, there's no challenge. The challenge will come little later. Wait for a little while. The challenge, we are going to show you where the challenge is. Next is the practice exercise. This is where the challenge is. Now, this is not completely solved. Some hints are there or something, things like this are there. This contains all types of questions, MCQs, very short answer. So actually, once you have finished the chapter, so finally what happens is, once you have finished the chapter, you are able to एक तरह से आपका अच्छा सा एक रिवीजन हो जाएगा कि रिवाइज कर लिया आपने, बहुत अच्छे से रिवाइज हो गया, आंसर्स प्रोवाइड किए हैं, सोल्यूशन नहीं प्रोवाइड किए हैं. अब आपने कहा था ना चैलेंज नहीं रहा जी, तो ये रहा चैलेंज भी दे दिया हमने पहले उसको पकड़ के, उंगली पकड़ के चलना सिखा दिया, अब उसे कहा दौड़ लगा के दिखा. ये काम करना पड़ता है एज अ टीचर. आई हैव डन दिस फॉर 36 years. सो देन देयर इज अ कंपटीशन सेक्शन. कंपटीशन, भाई अब जो बच्चे आपके 12th में पढ़ रहे हैं उसमें से कई बच्चे ऐसे होंगे जो कह रहे होंगे कि भाई हमें आगे जाके जेई मेन देना है, या हमको एक्चुरियल पढ़ना है जाके. तो एक्चुरियल पढ़ना है, तो एक्चुरियल किनके लिए? कॉमर्स वालों के लिए. सो अगर एक्चुरियल पढ़ना है तो उसके लिए आपका मैथ्स बड़ा अच्छा होना चाहिए. अगर आपने जेई मेंस में जाना, इंजीनियर बनना है, तो बिना मैथ्स के इंजीनियर बनना कैसे पॉसिबल है? आई डोंट नो. मे बी कुछ ऐसी इंजीनियरिंग हो जिसमें मैथ्स में आता हो, पर ऐसी मुझे नहीं मालूम. तो उसके लिए, दोनों के लिए आपको मैथ्स की जरूरत है. और ये कंपटीशन सेक्शन में हमने ऐसी ऐसी जगहों से वो क्वेश्चन ढूंढ के निकाले हैं जो डिफरेंट कॉम्पिटिशन्स के हैं, ताकि उनको अच्छे से एक तरीका मिल सके, उनको कुछ समझ में आ सके क्या होना है. देखिए, इसके ऊपर बहुत सारी बुक्स हैं. इंजीनियरिंग मैथ्स पे आपको मैथ्स की पढ़ाने की बहुत सी बुक्स हैं, बहुत से कोचिंग सेंटर्स हैं. पता नहीं लोग कहाँ कहाँ जा रहे हैं, पर विल एवरीबडी बी एबल टू अफोर्ड एवरीथिंग? नो. तो इस एक बुक के अंदर हमने सब कुछ डाल दिया. एवरीथिंग इज देयर. सो दिस इज व्हाट द थिंग वाज ऑल अबाउट. ये देखिए, ये वो चैप्टर है जिसकी मैं बात कर रहा था अभी, रिलेशन एंड फंक्शन की. तो इसमें सबसे पहले आप देख रहे हैं, रन थ्रू करिए. पॉइंट्स टू रिमेंबर आ रहा है, राइट. नेक्स्ट पेज. ये देखिए, सारे शॉर्टकट्स, पॉइंट्स, सब कुछ इसी के अंदर है, और बड़े वेल डिटेल्ड एक्सप्लेन करे हुए हैं, एग्जाम्पल दे दे के बताया हुआ. हाँ, आगे चलें. अब जैसे ये पहला आ गया भाई, टाइप्स ऑफ रिलेशंस के ऊपर आ गया कि भाई व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ रिलेशन which are there. So what are the types of relation? That is being explained. So you can see this is theory also. Please go ahead. Examples also, theory also, and they are all graded, easy to difficult. That is what we are going. Otherwise there is no use of doing it. First you give a difficult question, then you give a easy question, you kill the question, kill the whole chapter. Please go on, sir. Then there is NCERT exercise book 1.1. Sorry, NCERT exercise 1.1. You can see the exercise is also there and the solution is also there. Now, solution, we have tried to see that the solution is 100% exact, so that there are no fallacies, no errors. We cross-check the answers here and there, everywhere. 2 people cross-check the answers so that everything is done correctly. We don't want the student to suffer for our mistake. Our mistake, we will suffer. Why the student should suffer? So, this is what has been done. Sir, can you go ahead? So you can see this entire exercise being solved like this. Sir, please cross ahead. Come to page 15. When one exercise is over, it starts with the other exercise. Theory, exercise, theory, examples, exercise. Theory, examples, exercise. It goes on like this. One more. Yes. Here is your, what I was calling, exam corner. Now, in exam corner, that means something which is going to help us in the examination. First of all, as you can see, there are multiple choice questions. Please scroll ahead. Sir, आगे करिएगा. So you can see that it's going on. Yes, you can see the lot of questions are there, lot of MCQs are there, more than 30 MCQs. And you can see the reason assertion questions also coming up, as I was just telling you. I think 5 of them are there. 31 to 35, yes, 5 of them are there. Please go ahead, sir. Answers are also there. So, and of course, solutions. Answers are also there. Then come with very short questions. The solutions are also provided. Short question, 3 marks. Solutions are also provided. And answers are there. These are long answer questions. Now, those 5-mark questions which are there. So, maybe somebody can think that why this 5, why it should be 4, but there are 5-mark questions only. So, 4 also has to be treated as 5. So, these 5 are also there. So, you can see that a sufficient number, whatever number should be there, are there. And whatever rationalization, after rationalization of the syllabus, whatever has been deleted, has been deleted. Nothing, you will not find anything like this. That, okay, this is deleted, but it is here. That thing will not be there. So, we spent a lot of time trying to do that. Please go ahead, sir. Solutions are also there. So, if anybody gets stuck, the solutions are there. Case-based question, as I was just mentioning. Now, case-based question also, sufficient number, you can see this, they are all written according to what the CBSE says, what CBSE style, and 2 or 3 of them are there. Sir, aage chaliye. This is the practice exercise. Now, in practice exercise, what do you have? You have MCQs, you have, please go ahead, sir. You have MCQs. Then after MCQs, you will have, you can see so many MCQs. 35 MCQs were there earlier on, now 20 more are there. So after doing 50 MCQs, do you think anything would be left out? Now, why MCQs are given in the different competition and examination? Because one MCQ means that you are tested for at least 2 concepts, at least at this stage. So 150 MCQs means you are tested 100 concepts. There are no 100 concepts. So maybe you are tested for each concept once or twice or thrice. I don't know how many times. So that means you have got a good practice about all your basic concepts. That is why so many MCQs are there. Then we have these long answer, short answer. Please go ahead, sir. You can see sufficient number of questions for everything and everybody is there. Answers are also given. Last is, please stop here. Last is this competition section. As you can see, different questions asked in different competitions, pre-board, sometimes in from JEE, latest JEE main papers, etc. They are all here. So different years they've been asked. Very careful selection has been made, and after this careful selection, we have given it to you. So this is for all your students, which are going to be there. Please go ahead. I think that is the end of the chapter. Sir, can you please show slide number 3? Now, coming back to the CBSE sample paper and all those things, now we also need some material which we will have to change every year. This is the CBSE sample question paper in mathematics for 23-24. It is already there on the CBSE site. It is already there on the CBSE site. So, if you want, you can go down to CBSE and have a check. We have just downloaded from there and printed it because, of course, उसमें कुछ हमें addition करना पड़ा, answer वो बनाने पड़े, check करने पड़े. We have to check the answers, that answers are correct or not. Because CBSE can always do correction on their own site. But once we have given something wrong to our student, how will we correct it? So there's no way to do it. So that is why we have been very careful. We corrected all those answers wherever we found there was a problem. Can you go ahead, sir? So we have given 3 such things. One is the CBSE paper, as you can see. It's the same paper as given on the CBSE website. Please, sir, go ahead. Second thing we have given is question paper of CBSE. Solution is also there, as you can see. This is a CBSE paper 2023, the paper which our students appeared. Of course, there are so many sets, like 3 sets come in Delhi, 3 sets come outside Delhi. Then there are 3 sets for foreign examination. Of course, we can't go on writing for each one of them because that will become a book in itself. So we don't want this book to become a granth. So that is why we did that we picked up one of the papers which we thought was the most apt paper. It was a little difficult than set 1. Sometimes set 1 is very difficult. Sometimes set 2 is very difficult. That's what the students have to say. So I don't think so that some set is difficult or easy. The only thing is they do some hera-fairy, the question here and there. They keep doing. But anyway, the set we thought relevant, we have picked up and we have given it here. This is just for practice for the students. So please go ahead, sir. The same pattern was there this year also. And then last thing we have kept is about CUET. This is the Common University Entrance Test or CUET. Now the basic question which people will ask me is that CUET is a computer-based test. And CUET is an MCQ. I know CUET is a computer-based test. So how can I have? There is no paper which is printed. So how can I print a paper here? This is a question which anybody can ask me, and I'm sure this question is of course correct. But you see, what we did was that we came by the Google form, and we asked the students who had gone to give the exam that according to their memory, what they could be done. Now, when I was a student, students used to go and appear in UPSC papers. UPSC papers never used to come out. So some publishing companies, what they used to do was that, like, you have appeared in NDA exam or something, my friends appeared in NDA exam. So what they used to do was they used to tell them that, look, if you can remember any question, you can tell it to us. So if you ask a large number of people which question do they remember, at least maybe more or less you will get the entire paper. Maybe you'll not get all the 50 questions, but you might get 35 questions, 40 questions, and that is exactly what we had. So in fact, we got more questions than they were asked in the examination. So some people had their own creative imagination also. So I'm not saying it is 100% the same exam, but so maybe some people did not remember all the choices. So we know what choices are to be done. We solve the paper and we accordingly put the choices there. And so somewhat it's a kind of a reconstruction of that very paper. Because once your students are ready with the class 12th exam paper, they also have to appear in the CUET paper. This is not the last thing that aaj ke baad padhai chodni hai. Nothing like this would happen. So what they are going to do, they are going to study further also, isn't it? For that, they need to go to the university. For going to the university, everybody will not be going to become clear the engineering exam. There will be some people who will go and study mathematics or physics or chemistry. People like me, I didn't become an engineer. I studied mathematics. So there will be many such people. Everybody is not going to become an engineer. Everybody is not going to become a chartered accountant. And so on. So people will study other things also. For that, they need to go to college. And when they need to go to college, they need to appear in their CUET exam. So this is why we have also given this year. Now, later in the year, we might come out with more CUET publications or certain things like that. But naturally, a student must have an idea what CUET is all about. So that is why we introduced this. Earlier, this was not in our plan. You are not supposed to give this. But then we decided to dedicate about 30-40 pages to this also, or whatever number of pages is exactly, I don't remember. So this is why this is there. So this is about the book. Now, I explained two things. One, what is the CBSE syllabus and how should we prepare for it? And second, how is this book going to help you to prepare for it? I hope I am very clear, but if there are any doubts, etc., you are most welcome to ask. Thank you.
अभी राजेश सिंह जी द्वारा जो इस वर्ष के शैक्षणिक सत्र 23-24 में जो चेंजेस और जो सिलेबस है उसके बारे में उन्होंने समझाया, और साथ ही उन्होंने जो बुक्स, गोल्डन की बुक्स है, उसमें हमने क्या क्या प्रोवाइड किया है, वो बच्चों के लिए कितनी हेल्पफुल होने वाली है, और अध्यापकों के लिए भी यदि बच्चों के लिए वो पेपर बनाना चाहे, सैंपल पेपर बनाना चाहे और एक्स्ट्रा कुछ भी एग्जाम पैटर्न संबंधी बनाना चाहे तो उसके लिए भी ये काफी हेल्पफुल है। और साथ ही जो बच्चे CUET एग्जाम देंगे या जो बच्चे कंपटीशन की तैयारी कर रहे होंगे उनके लिए भी ये बुक्स बहुत अच्छी है। और मैं भी इस बुक्स में थोड़ा सा 2 मिनट लेकर के आपको बता देता हूँ। वैसे तो सर ने लगभग सभी एवरीथिंग बता दिया इस बुक्स का। मैं इसमें बताता हूँ कि 10 इयर्स के हमने इसमें कम से कम क्वेश्चंस दिए हैं। यदि कोई बच्चा या टीचर्स इस बुक को देखता है तो 10 इयर्स जैसे हम खरीदते हैं बच्चों के लिए मार्केट से या 10 इयर्स खरीदवा देते हैं, 10 इयर्स के लिए कोई जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। इसमें हमने 2013 से लेकर के और 2023 तक लगभग सभी जितने भी CBSE बोर्ड या आउट ऑफ CBSE बोर्ड, AI CBSE, CBSE हर रीजन के क्वेश्चन इसमें हमने दिए हैं। और साथ ही हमने इसमें CBSE सैंपल पेपर्स और CUET के जो भी पेपर्स हम इसमें डाल सकते थे वो हमने इसमें सभी दिए हैं। एक एग्जाम कॉर्नर आपने देखा ही है। इस जो भी कंपटीशन टाइप के एग्जाम होते हैं उसमें जी मीन्स हो या फिर बैंक PO वगैरह हो, इस तरह के जो भी एग्जाम जो 12th के बाद बच्चों को मैथ के लिए एग्जाम देने होते हैं, जो भी कंपटीशन देने होते हैं, उस तरह के क्वेश्चंस हमने इसमें कंपटीशन के लिए इसमें प्रोवाइड किए हैं। और अब मैं क्वेश्चन आंसर के लिए आपको आमंत्रित करता हूं कि यदि किसी के मन में फिर भी कोई डाउट्स है, ये तो मैं बता ही चुका हूं रोहताज जी अपनी बुक्स के बारे में लगभग सारा, और सर ने भी बता ही दिया है, बार बार एक ही चीज को हम रिपीट करें। ये पूरा कंटेंट है हमारी बुक्स का। हमने हर छोटी से छोटी चीज को प्रोवाइड किया है, ये सारा सर दिखाई चुके हैं। तो अब मैं सभी को आमंत्रित करता हूं कि यदि कोई डाउट्स, किसी तरह का कोई क्वेश्चन आपके मन में है तो प्लीज अपनी क्वेरी को रखें, और सर उसके सॉल्यूशन के लिए तैयार है। अपने आंसर आप पा सकते हैं। अपना क्वेश्चन रखिए प्लीज। सर कोई भी अपना क्वेश्चन रख सकता है। ये पूछा गया है, मैं बता देता हूं कि कई टीचरों ने पूछा है कि ये बुक्स हमें कैसे मिलेगी, तो उसके लिए मैं जरूर बताऊंगा ये बुक्स हमें कैसे मिलेगी और बच्चों तक कैसे पहुंचेगी। तो स्टूडेंट्स इस बुक को मार्केट से खरीद सकते हैं, और अध्यापक गण यदि बच्चों से इसके लिए करेंगे तो ये मार्केट में सभी जगह अवेलेबल है, अमेजोन पर अवेलेबल है, और हमारी ब्रांचेस जो है वो भारत के हर कोने कोने में लगभग फैली हुई है। ये बुक्स मुझे लगता है मार्केट में हर जगह अवेलेबल है, और अमेजोन पे तो है ही, बच्चे वहां से भी खरीद सकते हैं। तो इस बुक्स को बच्चे अमेजोन से खरीद सकते हैं। और रोहताज जी, क्या किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन कोई अपना रखना चाहता है?
नहीं सर, अभी कोई क्वेश्चन है नहीं। मोस्टली टीचर्स आर आस्किंग फॉर द हाउ दे विल गेट द स्पेसिमेन कॉपीज।
या वो मैं अभी घोषणा कर ही देता हूँ। तो प्यारे साथियों और श्रेष्ठ अध्यापक गण, आपने जैसे कि अभी सर ने आपको इस बुक्स के बारे में बताया और आप सब जान ही गए हैं, तो अब हम इस वेबिनार को समाप्ति की ओर लेके चलते हैं। और साथ ही मैं ये घोषणा करूं कि सबसे पहले मैं जो है ये बात बताऊं कि हम एक सभी को ई सर्टिफिकेट्स देंगे। जो भी इस वेबिनार में पार्टिसिपेंट्स हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं उन सभी को एक ई सर्टिफिकेट्स दिया जाएगा। और वेबिनार समाप्त होने पर व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में एक फीडबैक फॉर्म दिया जाएगा। उस फीडबैक फॉर्म को आप अच्छे से फुलफिल करिए, और तब आपको डाउनलोड का ऑप्शन आ जाएगा। डाउनलोड के ऑप्शन के बाद आपके मैनेजर्स वगैरह या उस तरह की फाइल्स में, आपके मोबाइल में या जिससे भी आप अपने डाउनलोड कर रहे हैं सिस्टम में, आपके ये ई सर्टिफिकेट्स आपको प्राप्त होगा। और स्पेसिमेन कॉपी हम सभी जो भी जिनको भी रिक्वायर है, जो भी हमें रिक्वेस्ट भेजेंगे उन सबको हम जो है इसकी स्पेसिमेन कॉपी अवेलेबल कराएंगे। स्पेसिमेन कॉपी के लिए आपको हमारी ईमेल आईडी है specimen@newagepublicers.com। वो हम इस ग्रुप में भी डाल देंगे, जो कि वेबिनार्स का ग्रुप बना हुआ है, और ये सामने भी आ गई है specimen@newagepublicers.com। इस पर आप हमें अपनी रिक्वायर के अनुसार आप रिक्वेस्ट भेज सकते हैं। जो किसी को 11th की रिक्वायर है तो 11th की, 12th की रिक्वायर है तो 12th की, बोथ रिक्वायर है तो बोथ आप हमें भेज सकते हैं। और जैसे ही आप हमें ये रिक्वायर भेजेंगे तो हम तुरंत आपके पास ये बाय पोस्ट ये कॉपीज आपको भेजेंगे। और जब आप मुझे निश्चित मैं विश्वास है कि जब आप इन मैथ्स की बुक्स का आप यूज करेंगे तो रियली में पाएंगे कि इट इज अ वेरी फाइन बुक, इट इज अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल बुक, वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव बुक्स। तो साथियों ये आपको बुक्स भेजी जाएगी। अब मैं सभी जो भी मेरे साथ अटेंडेंस जुड़े इस वेबिनार में, सब लोग जुड़े उनका
रामाजी, वन टीचर इज वांट टू आस्क सम क्वेश्चन।
या सर रखिए प्लीज।
तो रामा शर्मा जी, यू कैन आस्क योर क्वेश्चन प्लीज।
सर अगर मतलब कई बच्चों ने +1 और +2 में कॉमर्स स्ट्रीम ली है तो उसमें मैथ्स नहीं लिया, तो उसमें भी कोई ऑप्शन है कि वो अगर +2 में दोबारा मैथ्स लेना चाहें तो?
राजेश सर प्लीज आंसर द क्वेरी।
दिस डिपेंड्स फॉर द स्कूल एक्चुअली। ऐसा कोई वो नहीं है, अगर किसी ने अगर 11th में मैथ्स नहीं लिया है तो वो 12th में मैथ्स नहीं ले सकता।
ओके।
तो वैसे तो अलाउड नहीं होता, पर जनरली क्योंकि ये स्कूल का इंटरनल मैटर होता है क्योंकि ऐसा कोई वो नहीं है कि इसके लिए मना भी नहीं है और हाँ भी नहीं है। एक जनरल सी ऑप्शन है कि नहीं देते, कि भाई हमारा रिजल्ट खराब होगा, इसने 11th में तो पढ़ा नहीं है तो हम इसको कैसे दे दें। पर कुछ कई बार ना उसको दे देते हैं, तो उसमें टीचर की मेहनत काफी बढ़ जाती है, मगर वो बच्चे करने वाले कर भी लेते हैं।
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable information.
हाँ, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू मैम। आपने एक बहुत ही अच्छा प्रश्न बच्चों के लिए पूछा। कई बच्चे इस असमंजस में रहते हैं कि वो जब अपनी स्ट्रीम चुन रहे होते हैं वो उसमें मैथ का ऑप्शन नहीं रखते। बाद में उन्हें लगता है कि यदि मैथ ले लिया जाता तो हमारे कई सपने पूरे होते। तो राजेश सर ने ये बिल्कुल सही बताया। जहां तक मुझे भी जानकारी है कि स्कूल के ऊपर भी कई बार डिपेंड करता है, और अच्छा बच्चे मेहनती है और स्कूल अगर चाहता है तो उसको 12th क्लास में मैथ अवेलेबल करा सकता है, और बच्चा भी एक पॉजिटिव वे में अपनी मेहनत करके उसमें अच्छे अंक ले सकता है। एनीबडी?
Sir, one other question is there.
या
The teacher is Rupali Rao mentioned that what about deleted portion?
डिलीट पोर्शन के लिए सर जो रैशनलाइज किया गया है इस बार 11th और 12th में, उसके लिए मैम का क्वेश्चन है कि व्हाट पोर्शंस।
So Rajesh Singh sir, please elaborate
हाँ
this.
सर, जो डिलीट हो गया है मैडम, जो डिलीट हो गया है एग्जाम से, वट एवर हैज बीन डिलीटेड, यू आर नॉट सपोज टू टीच इट for your own sake. If you are very happy to teach it or something, okay, fine, or some student wants to know something, it's okay. Like, for example, I give you one example, that chapters on constructions from class 6 to class 10th all have been deleted. Now, I had been to Pune for a workshop. There the teacher told me that, sir, I love teaching this chapter, shall I teach it? I'm most welcome. You are only giving knowledge to the student, nothing wrong, but for sake of evaluation, that part cannot be taken. Right? So what has been deleted has been deleted. Now already there are new books of CBSE based on rationalized syllabus, which are on the net also and which are available in the market also. These books will hold the fort till new CBSE books come out. Now new CBSE books are nothing, only the same books which we are having, they are going to present the same thing again. So new books are also there, although already in the market, as you can see. With rationalized syllabus also, there are in the market. So in this case, whether if somebody something has been deleted, you better leave it. There's no need to do it. For any case, you can always refer to the CBSE syllabus, which is given on their CBSE site, cbse.nic.in. It is also published in these books. I forgot to mention it. Just after index, we have also published the latest NCERT syllabus. So you can, the latest CBSE syllabus, sorry. NCERT writes book, CBSE defines the syllabus. So those syllabuses are already given in these books. However, if you don't trust us, you can always go and look at those CBSE.nic.in. So whatever is there in the syllabus, only that can be asked. Other thing cannot be asked. Other students, some student might be like to prepare it for sake of that we have to give in competition or something. So there this might be asked or that might be asked. So there are many other things which will be asked except not only this. So that is what is, and I hope your answer is clear, that it is not there in syllabus anymore. No need to teach it. Thank you.
One more question is there, sir. We asked in class 12th, random variables is deleted from probability chapter in NCERT book, but
Yes.
it is mentioned in the CBSE curriculum.
I know.
So what?
Then you should teach it. That's all.
Okay.
सर राजेश जी, ये कई जगह प्रॉब्लम्स है कि सीबीएसई ने जो सिलेबस दिया है उसमें कुछ कुछ चीजें वो भी दे दी जो कि एनसीईआरटी ने अपने उसमें से बुक्स में से हटा दिया है। ये और भी कई जगह है।
जो सीबीएसई का सिलेबस है, दैट इज लाइक सैंक्टम सैंक्टम, उसको आपको मानना ही मानना है। अगर उसमें कोई ऐसी चीज आ गई है जो आपके बुक में क्या है, वो गलती से आ गई है। कई बार गलती सबसे हो सकती है, हमसे भी हो सकती है, उनसे भी हो सकती है। So even if by mistake they have printed it and they don't rectify that mistake and it is not there in the book, better do it. So that is why I tell everybody, when we were writing this book, we were looking at both the things. आपको याद होगा. So that is why we were looking at both the things. कि भाई जो CBSE का सिलेबस भी देख लो और इसको भी देख लो, NCERT की किताब को भी देख लो, दोनों को मिला के करो। 10th क्लास में भी ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स है, 12th में भी ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स है। तो छोटा मोटा, लेकिन वो बहुत माइनर है, 1-2% से ज्यादा नहीं। तो अगर कुछ ऐसा आ गया है तो पढ़ा दीजिए, आपने तो पढ़ा ही रखा है, आपको कौन सा नहीं आता, ऐसी कौन सी चीज, और कौन सा ऐसा बहुत बड़ा टॉपिक है। एक दो टॉपिक, 1-2 पीरियड 3 पीरियड की बात है, इससे ज्यादा तो नहीं हो सकता।
वेरी नाइस सर। और मैं ये बता रहा था कि जो हमारा व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बना हुआ है उसमें हम 11th और 12th का रेशनलाइज्ड जो सिलेबस दिया हुआ है उसकी पूरी पीडीएफ बना करके हम अपने टीचरों को अवेलेबल कराएंगे, ताकि वो देख सके कि किस चैप्टर से क्या क्या पॉइंट्स, क्या क्या उसमें से चीजें हटा दी गई है, वो हम पूरा उसमें प्रोवाइड भी कराएंगे। तो उसमें आप ज्यादा टेंशन लेने की भी जरूरत नहीं। हम व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में ये सारी चीजें देंगे, क्या क्या रेशनलाइज किया गया है, पूरी रेशनलाइज कंटेंट देंगे, किस चैप्टर से कितने पेजेस, कौन कौन से टॉपिक्स कैसे कैसे हटाए गए हैं। तो उसके लिए आप चिंता ना करें। और कोई प्रश्न सर?
और 11th क्लास में तो वैसे भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, सब कुछ हमारे हाथ में ही है। सिर्फ प्रॉब्लम कहाँ आती है, 12th क्लास। तो वहां भी शायद इक्का दुक्का ही ऐसी कोई चीजें हैं जो ज्यादा खास नहीं है, तो उन्हें करा दीजिए, क्या प्रॉब्लम है, कराने में तो कुछ जा नहीं रहा ना। ना आना है नहीं आना उससे इतना, क्योंकि अगर उन्होंने वहां लिखा हुआ और कल गलती से कोई क्वेश्चन आ गया तो आप उसका कोई जवाब नहीं दे पाएंगे। इट इज बेटर टू बी सेफ देन टू बी सॉरी।
जी जी सर, सही बात है। और बट ये भी है ना सर, अध्यापक को भी कोर्स खींचना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है। बच्चों के लिए तो जितना कट जाए वो चाहते हैं कि जितना कम से कम करना पड़े वो बेटर है।
तो
बट
राजेश
मैंने
राजेश
कहा
सर
इट इज
वन
बेटर टू बी सेफ देन टू बी सॉरी। मतलब कल को कहीं कहे नहीं वहां नहीं था मगर उधर तो था, तो वो बात नहीं होनी चाहिए ना। इसलिए उससे बचने का तरीका यही है कि वो, और वो ज्यादा नहीं है, ऐसे ही 10th में भी एक
हेलो
जगह थोड़ा सा ही है, ऐसे ही 12th में भी एक जगह थोड़ा
सर
सा
एक
ही है।
क्वेश्चन और है, प्लीज बोलिए सर।
Yeah, the one teacher Jaideep Kumar Verma is asking, what about applied mathematics?
सर आज का सेमिनार जो है वो मैथमेटिक्स के लिए है, अप्लाइड मैथमेटिक्स के लिए नहीं है। अप्लाइड मैथमेटिक्स के लिए जो अभी ना तो किताब है हमारे पास, ना हम उस पर कोई काम कर रहे हैं, और उसका बहुत कम, वो हालांकि इट्स ए वेरी गुड kind of syllabus. All the students who are going to appear for actuarial science or they are going to do CA or something like that, उनके लिए it is a wonderful syllabus, let me tell you, and I really love it. मगर अनफॉर्चुनेटली उसकी स्कूल्स की तरफ से रिस्पॉन्स बहुत कम है, क्योंकि यूनिवर्सिटीज उसको बीकॉम ऑनर्स वगैरह में एडमिशन देने के लिए कंसिडर नहीं करते। इसलिए क्या होता है कि उसको काफी कम लोग लेते हैं। तो आप सोच सकते हैं इस वजह से क्या होता है कि उसका काफी कम, वो एक वो है, काफी कम लोग ले रहे हैं उसको। उसकी पॉपुलैरिटी जैसी बढ़नी चाहिए थी, इट शुड हैव बीन इक्वल टू दिस, वो ऐसा नहीं है। बिकॉज ऑफ ये जो यूनिवर्सिटी के लोग हैं ये उसको इतनी सीरियसली लेते नहीं, एडमिशन नहीं देते। पर अगर आपके स्कूल में कोई स्टूडेंट्स कर रहे हैं तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। बहुत कम स्कूल्स में है, हार्डली 10% स्कूल्स हैव गॉट इट। तो अभी ये आज का सेमिनार जो है ये अप्लाइड मैथ्स के लिए नहीं था, ये तो जो नॉर्मल मैथमेटिक्स है उसके लिए था। अप्लाइड मैथ्स ये तो जनरल मैथ्स के लिए था। अब अप्लाइड मैथ्स के लिए जिस दिन करेंगे उस दिन फिर जो आपके सवाल होंगे उनका उस दिन आंसर देंगे।
Okay,
वेरी गुड
Dr.
सर।
Manish Suraj Mehta ji, you just unmute yourself and ask your question. You raise the hand. Mr. Suraj Mehta, you please unmute yourself and ask your query.
Sir, the question was about the applied maths. It is clear now. This webinar is not for the applied maths.
Okay. So I think all the questions are over now. So we can go ahead, Dama ji.
फिर भी यदि हमारे किसी अध्यापक का क्वेश्चन कोई रह जाता है तो उसके लिए वो हमें editorial@newagepublicers.com पे लिख सकते हैं और हम उनका जवाब देने की कोशिश करेंगे निश्चित रूप से। तो आज मैं अब ये वेबिनार, चूंकि लगभग सभी क्वेश्चंस और चीजें हो चुकी है, तो वेबिनार समाप्त करने की ओर चलते हैं। डियर टीचर्स, सभी जो हमारे साथ जुड़े उन सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपने हमारा साथ दिया और हमारे साथ आप जुड़े और इस वेबिनार को सक्सेस किया। आप सभी का धन्यवाद करता हूं। और उसके बाद धन्यवाद करता हूं श्री राजेश सिंह जी का, जिन्होंने एक बहुत ही अच्छी जानकारी हम सबको प्रदान की और जो कि एक बहुत जरूरी थी एकेडमिक सेशन 23-24 को लेकर के, एक अच्छी जानकारी रही। और उसके बाद धन्यवाद करता हूं श्री सौम्य गुप्ता जी का, जिन्होंने के इस वेबिनार का आयोजन कराया और हमारे सभी अध्यापकों तक ये जानकारियां पहुंच सकी, उनका तहे दिल से धन्यवाद। और जो हमारे साथ कैमरे के पीछे जो भी हमारे सभी साथी जुड़े हुए हैं, निधि मैडम, रोहतास जी, और उन सबका भी बड़ा बड़ा धन्यवाद। वो बहुत मेहनत करते हैं और इस वेबिनार को सफल बनाने में उन्होंने हमें बहुत सहयोग दिया। और इसी के साथ मैं सभी का हाथ जोड़ करके नमस्कार करता हूँ। शुभ रात्रि, शुभ रात्रि, शुभ रात्रि।
का दीवाना, गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना। पढ़ाई हो जो करनी, जरा भी ना घबराना, गोल्डन बुक्स को अपनाना, अपना इंडिया, गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना। कक्षा विषय कोई हो, आसान समझ पाना, गोल्डन ही तो है सफलता का पैमाना। गोल्डन ही ला रहा है चेहरे पे मुस्कुराना, मैं गोल्डन का दीवाना, अपना इंडिया, बुक्स का दीवाना, गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना, गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना, गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना।
Golden presents the best-selling reference books for mathematics for classes 11th and 12th. Main features of Golden Books are: all the books are based on latest NCERT textbooks and are as per the latest syllabus of CBSE. Important points have been given for each chapter for quick revision. Solution of all the NCERT textual exercises are given. Other important questions for practice and examinations are also given in a very simple language. Objective type question bank is given, which include MCQs with answers. The Golden Books suit all the pockets and are a boon for the weak, mediocre and intelligent students alike. Buy Golden Books for your golden future.